So Mario, have you made a decision?
Hello guys,
Hi,
welcome back to our channel.
that's right. Travel the World in Creole. I'm Vivian.
And Mario.
Thank you so much for always coming back to watch our contents. We appreciate you guys so much.
In this channel, we always document our travel experiences and adventures with you.
So guys, if you've been following us, you know we've been hunting or island hopping in a way to search for our potential retirement location.
Or we could also say a long-term stay.
As a refresher, if you haven't seen that video, we're looking for another alternative location to retire in the first place, because when we consider the inflation, the political climate in the US, and lack of uncertainty about the future, of course, budget, that's a big one.
And another factor that we need to consider is rising costs of, we said inflation, but when you're talking about mortgages, property taxes and insurance for homeowners,
and social security income is not that high.
Exactly, and it will make it very difficult for retirees to maintain their lifestyle in the US after you finish working.
That's right.
So that's why a lot of people seek the alternative to retire overseas, like in other places, because we never want to use the word cheaper. It's more affordable
elsewhere in some other places.
So that's one of those factors also we are considering.
So in our exploration journey, we had established certain criteria as measures to consider in our decision to move and possibly retire abroad. So Mario, have you made a decision?
Let's review together all the places we have visited with an assessment of pros and cons, and that way we'll let you know our stand on each, and at the end we'll tell you where we stand.
Okay, so we have a video on each of these places we visited in the Caribbean and
Colombia.
Yeah, so we'll put the playlist on the description below for you.
So the first place we visited was Barbados. But before, it's important also that we tell our audience we went to Barbados because we had a cruise to catch
from Barbados. We stayed there for like 4 nights, I believe, because we wanted to really explore it as much as possible. The pros on Barbados.
To me, the first thing that caught my attention in Barbados, it was very safe. The people are very friendly and very welcoming in Barbados.
And the beaches.
Yes, for people who love the beaches. So
they have the most beautiful beaches.
Yes. And one additional thing that really was very interesting to me, and I did not expect to find a certain level of Haitian community presence.
Yeah, it's not a big, we didn't see a big Haitian community, but we were pleased to meet a few Haitians.
It's one of the few places we never knew we had an Haitian community established there.
Yeah.
Even though this not really one of our criteria, but to me, I call it an added bonus.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Everywhere I go and I can find my own folks.
Yeah, that's like a huge incentive.
That could really be like just in case you were living between two places.
Yeah.
But what are the cons for you about
the cons? The first thing I'm thinking of is the cost of living.
Yeah,
it's pricey.
I would probably say, to me, the cost of living is probably what might make me, turn, a little bit off on Barbados. It's really expensive. And,
at least for our budget, it is.
And also, but what I'm going to probably say, it's really common to all the islands in terms of activities, things to do.
Yeah, they all are limited.
They have their limitations.
You have to create your own fun. And I think the other con for me, Mario, is transportation. I didn't feel like it was, I feel like it was limited.
yeah.
After certain
And
hours,
after
you
certain-
know.
it's one thing
yeah.
that we discover a lot in all these places.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're talking about the public transportation, also that trigger for us, we will need to have a car.
Yeah, and you will see us repeat this sentence a lot. If you know us, know that it's not our preference to get a car when we retire.
So where do we stand with Barbados?
Barbados, I would say right now, although beautiful, lovely, but it might stay on the list for vacation spot.
Yeah, not really
long term.
Due
mostly to budget, to cost of living. So the second one we'll talk about is St. Vincent of the Grenadines.
It was a stop during the cruise. Not really a place that was on our list as exploration.
But we wanted to consider it since we were going anyway.
Yeah, but
it's very unique. It seems safe.
The way we visited it, to me, it's a place that you can spend a day or a weekend.
Not for us.
No.
Not long-term stay. So we're gonna remove it from.
Sorry, people from St. Vincent and Grenadines.
It's our opinion. So.
But your island is very beautiful.
It is.
The second stop we had during the cruise was Grenada.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit similar to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's very quiet. We fell in love with the people.
Yeah, and also, but to me, Grenada was kind of a little bit different because I didn't expect that charm or that tranquility that I found in Grenada. It's very beautiful, and the way people welcome you in Grenada, even though it was a short stay.
We would like to go back for vacation.
Yes, I think it's a place definitely I'd like to go back to explore, not for possible long term, but as a vacation place or maybe to know the island better.
But for long term stay, possible retirement place, we will not be considering it at this point.
Well, I'm looking for a place.
You
there are a lot
like
of things
a
to
nice
do.
downtown.
Nice downtown. There are
City
things to
center.
do. I could find all to go shopping, places.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's probably where would be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, you're a little bit more difficult.
The next one was Martinique.
Yeah.
We do recall Martinique was where the cruise stops with.
And then we had rented an Airbnb because we stayed in Martinique for a few nights.
I will say Martinique was in my priority list because it's a place that we've been there before. We know a little bit about it and we loved it.
We love Martinique, especially for the large Haitian community there is in Martinique.
And the funny thing, when we arrived, we were looking for the address on the Airbnb and we couldn't find it. And when we went to
a couple people to ask them for help,
and
they were Haitians.
And from that point, the conversation turns out to be more than that.
Of course, that's a big plus. That's a big pro for us. The language also is a big pro.
Yeah, in Martinique they do speak French
and Creole. Yeah, the people are very welcoming, friendly. Felt at home in Martinique.
So Martinique normally should have been a place that once we get there, I should have stayed. Okay, that's it's over. That's the place.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna say that Martinique won us over totally. There are a few little things that we didn't quite like, and that's what we'll
talk about next
in terms of cons.
Right.
One of the things we also didn't mention in the post for Martinique, there are a lot of other towns that you can go and visit, like Toisille. And remember, we went there on a ferry, and that day, for some reason, we were free.
Yeah, it was free. It was our gift.
It was our gift. But despite of that, I find the public transportation an issue in Martinique.
I think the biggest issue with public transportation is because they shut down too early.
That's what happened. So
It's like 6,
6,
like 5, 6 p.m. It's like nothing is functioning.
and on
anymore.
weekends you say
Forget
3,
about
3
it.
4 o'clock. You might not be able to find a public bus to.
Yeah, not only public transportation is a con in terms of limited hours, but also like restaurants, like a lot of things shut down early too. So if you don't have food at home,
especially on Sundays.
yeah, that's
most people
that's
tell
a little
most
bit
people
an issue
tell
for
us
us.
like when weekends belong to them.
Yeah, so
And
that's one of the cons.
My other concern was I didn't see that many police presence in certain areas that I think should have.
We felt a little bit unsafe in certain areas because we like to walk.
Yeah.
And we were going to a Haitian restaurant in another place in town, in Fort-de-France. And we found a couple of people who told us, don't go there.
At this time.
Don't go there. And it was like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So the safety there is questionable for us.
Yeah, and also you could see also in those neighborhoods also there are certain houses that are kind of like neglected or
abandoned.
So kind of like was a little concern for me.
Yeah.
But overall,
it's high on the list.
It's high on the list, and but what we need to do really in terms of decision with Martinique, because we visited a lot of places. But there are certain areas we wanted to go, and we,
transportation was an issue.
So we would like to, because there are certain places. If you live there, it's like really you don't have to worry that much about those issues that we just mentioned. But
you need a car in Martinique.
In terms of decision, I would say Martinique is
on the list.
It's on the list. After Martinique, we went to Saint Lucia.
Yeah.
Remember, that's one of the advantages also. Martinique is so close to Saint Lucia. We took a ferry.
Yeah, that ferry brings back memories because I was sick like a dog in the ferry. I wanted to film how sick I was, but I was too sick to film.
No, I should have filmed you. But I was like,
you were trying not to get sick.
Yeah, not only that, but I don't think it will be really a very good image we set.
Easy to just take a ferry.
It's only 1 hour and a half.
And people told us, people have done it like 20,000 times. They said it's the first time they had such a rough time at sea. It was rough as heck.
Afterwards,
I never got sick.
Afterwards,
like that
I had to go ask the boat captain why. Why he has to choose this day to make it.
When I said sick, I meant like sick, like not just me, like a lot of people.
So you will not do it again?
Not for a while. I'll take the plane.
So, all right. So this part of that, we went to Saint Lucia and have an amazing time.
Yeah.
First, let's say what we think of Saint Lucia. When we first arrived, to me, it was the one of the places that looks more like Haiti. I thought I was in Haiti. The streets looks alike at Port-au-Prince. And normally in
Port-au-Prince used to be. Because right now we're going through a rough time in Port-au-Prince.
Exactly. In Saint Lucia, they speak English and Creole. Before I thought they spoke. I thought the languages was Creole and English, but we learned it's mostly English, and people learn Creole in school. Suppose you can mention about
the people, they're really friendly,
and also one of the advantages I'll say that I see in Saint there are other places that you could go, like on vacation on weekends in the country, like
like Sophia,
other places like because we had an opportunity to kind of like do
like a whole island tour.
So the one thing we enjoyed, it was that block party on Friday.
Yeah.
So that's something
that was fun.
That's something that they do since probably they said the last since
50 years or something.
Something like if they have a block party every Friday.
That was fun. I think that was the highlight of it for us. Besides going to Sophia to see the Piton, the Gros Piton et Petit Piton.
Yeah.
Cost of living is a bit high, I would say. Not our Airbnb, it was a great cost, but we felt like when we went to the grocery store, we felt things they were a little bit pricey.
Yeah, you'll see on weekends, like
everything shuts
if
down.
it shuts down,
Yeah.
you can find a restaurant, difficult, to find a place to eat,
Yeah.
things like that. There was, I remember one Sunday we had to settle for KFC.
Yeah, we had, yeah, and we don't do that. When we go abroad, we don't do.
We like,
those,
eating the locals.
We like to do local.
foods.
Yes, yes.
So that's one of, in terms
consideration. I would like to go back.
Yeah, but
for vacation.
For vacation, not really.
No, not for long term. As much as we love what we love, it's not gonna be on the list for long term. For retirement, possible retirement place.
Not a lot of activities for me. From Saint Lucia, we went to Guadeloupe. Quick 1 hour flight. The other option was to take the boat. It was the same ferry, and this time it would have been 7 hours.
Yeah.
Why? We have I would say a good understanding about the way Guadeloupe is and everything. But the consideration is for Guadeloupe is similar to Martinique because they are same French territories and probably cost of living and culture and everything the same thing. Did we say we find more Haitians in Guadeloupe or Martinique? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think Guadeloupe might have more Haitians. That's another big pool, of course.
Yeah, so those two places really kind of wars. When we went there, we felt like home.
Yeah,
with our community.
Before we deep dived in the pros and cons, we like Mario said, we stayed there for a week and we visited several towns like Saint-Anne, Saint-François,
Gauzier, Les Abîmes,
Pointe-à-Pitre, of course. So we had a pretty good understanding, not of course the whole place, but like a good understanding, so we can base our decision on.
Yes, and same as we said, like in terms of pros, the languages, French, Creole, English, Haitian presence, community presence,
Haitian food,
the food, the people, the friendliness, and welcoming they are.
Cons?
In terms of same thing,
I found like there's more abandoned,
it's more
neglected places than Martinique.
And I probably would call it that, but there are some activists who post things like technically the way they say that like Guadeloupe est trop belle pour être une poubelle. This is a kind of a translation is Guadeloupe is too beautiful to be that dirty.
Yeah.
So according to own people from Guadeloupe, and but also the lack of police presence. Also, you remember that we went to that square when not the night we arrived, and after, and we kind of saw some police activities, and it was kind of a bit suspicious, but we didn't care to ask what was going on.
So in terms of safety. Yeah, it's questionable. Other cons is the same as the other island. Things shut down too early. Yeah. Transportation shuts down very early.
On that subject, it's important for us to mention
the issue we had with
the issue. We needed
money
because one of these situations we take public buses mostly for everywhere we go, and the public bus they don't take credit cards.
Right, you have to have cash.
So there was no
places, no currency exchange.
They told us that we can only find one currency exchange in Pointe-à-Pitre. So we find a way to get there.
It was closed.
And it was closed because things shut down on weekends from since 2 p.m.
And we asked like 10 different people, and they all told us we have to take a bus to the airport.
That was the only option. Go to the airport to
exchange money.
To exchange money. We did that, and that's.
We had no choice
because we needed cash.
Yeah.
So that's an issue.
That's
an issue. Like because if
you have like one place to go, you should have currency exchange.
If you have an emergency,
exchange offices throughout the island.
If you have an emergency and you need access to cash, so
yeah, that's an issue.
So where do we stand with Guadeloupe? To me, I'm on the fence.
I am too.
This part of everything, when you get to Guadeloupe, you see the beauty. But you hope that
the beauty that is neglected.
Exactly. Next stop after Guadeloupe is Saint Martin.
Yeah.
Saint Martin.
In Saint Martin, we have two sides. We have the French side and we have the Dutch side.
So it's important to let people understand. If you're traveling within the Caribbean, you will be arriving on the French side. But if you're traveling international from the US, Europe, or anywhere else,
you're coming to the Dutch side.
the Dutch
The
side.
French
So-
side is kind of like a regional airport,
Exactly.
maybe, and then the Dutch is international.
So they have two airports, two sides, and probably two different governments. And two different, do not say two different cultures, but
Commons, I mean.
Saint Martin is kind of like the biggest problem of European culture and Caribbean. We went to Saint Martin before on a cruise stop. To me, it's like I never been there because what I've discovered,
No, this time is
what I've
different.
discovered is really totally different from my
A
experience.
cruise stop and versus staying in the a few nights at the on location, very different. So this time the first few nights we stayed in the French side.
And after that, we moved to the
We
side. We were able to appreciate, both places, both areas, and to see the differences, the advantages, and everything. But overall, I would say Saint Martin is very charming, and
Our preference is the Dutch side.
the Dutch side for now. But,
That can change.
yeah, because there are a lot of other neighborhoods in the French side we didn't
Like
explore
Orient
yet.
Bay.
Yeah, I mean we went there, but
It was
we went there.
night.
It was at night, but
We didn't have a chance to go back to
and
the
that
daytime.
could be more affordable than the Dutch side.
Yeah, so that for now we love the Dutch, but like Mario said, we might if we choose Saint Martin, it could go either side.
So what are the pros for you on Saint Martin?
Haitian presence. There's a nice Haitian community there.
We were surprised to see that too.
We love them.
We remember that place. We enjoyed that free Thai.
Yeah, we had free Thai.
Twice.
Yeah,
and Duria Legume
in Phillipsburg.
in Phillipsburg.
So yeah, so that's a big pro, of course, for us. And the language, they speak French on the French side, of course, and then English in the Dutch side.
What I would say in both sides, the languages are mixed. In the French side as well, you find a lot of people who speak English, and as well on the Dutch side and French side.
And it's like a 20-minute ride between without traffic.
You will never know if you don't know if you're not familiar with the island. You might not even realize when you are in the French or Dutch side. It's a very popular place. A lot of expats love going there. It's a very lively place.
We love Saint Martin.
Honestly, I could see myself
Living there.
living there because it seems that there are a lot of things to do.
It's small, but
And also it's small in a sense, but not.
because it's lively, because it's it's small, but it keeps you entertained.
And also one of the advantage also with Saint Martin, there are a lot of little islands at Saint Barts and Guia.
You can go
within an hour
on day trips or weekend trips.
Day trip. Even San Juan is close to them within an hour flight.
So what are the pros or cons? I mean,
The traffic.
yeah, and the traffic is like major. Of course, we figured, if we retire there, how to manage it. You just stay home during the peak times. You just don't go out because it's a waste of your time.
Also one of the cons also could be the cost of living because it's a very popular area.
Yeah,
a lot of tourists.
Want it.
Anytime, not a knock on tourism, but whenever you know a place that a lot of people go for vacation or visiting,
Of course, the price
tends to go up. So that could be an issue. Apart of those two things, I will probably say Saint Martin is really
high on the list. Princess Juliana International Airport in the Dutch side of the island.
To San Juan, Puerto Rico.
That's right. Si, senor.
And San Juan was like about an hour and a half flight from there, and the cost was reasonable. Reasonable. I think we paid less than $100 per person, from Saint Martin to San Juan. And then again, all these places we've been there before. We've been to San Juan like twice.
But we had a different vibe this time.
Exactly.
Positive.
Exactly. This time I discovered someone
No.
in ways that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
And you know, we all know that San Juan is part of the US and everything, but I never
You still feel the island feel.
It's like, to me, it's like San Juan is a combination of island feel and modern city. And let's be honest with you, if San Juan was not too close to the US in terms of cost of living, I would have probably say San Juan is the place for me.
Yeah.
Because you know me with the Latin culture. I really love, and whenever I can find that. You'll find a little of the Asian culture there. We have
a small Asian
small community there.
Bigger than we thought.
And when the American structure, like everything that we familiar here, your Walmart, your your
that, I don't know about that. Maybe it's not something I like to shop locally, so I don't know if I love the fact that they have all the Walmart and the Costco's and all that. To me,
I like the mixtures. The mixture that
you have options. You can go to the local stores, or
I
you
can
can
have
go
the
to
American structure, like because it's an American the American system. If you have, let's say, your health insurance here, everything you have here, you can have there. It's a party city. Someone you cannot it's the first place that I go on a Monday, and it looks the same way as Saturday. Lively, people out, with families, restaurants are full of people. It's lively. That's my kind of place.
So we like San Juan. We love to go to the old San Juan. That's where we found a lot of Haitian-owned stores in the old San Juan, Haitian gallery. So that was nice. And we also visited like a whole different part of the island, Isla Verde. That was nice. So when we go back to San Juan, Isla Verde is probably the area we will be exploring more in terms of housing, because it might be a little bit cheaper than
living in really San Juan, especially in the
it's out of our league. Even Isla Verde is very expensive, but we met a realtor and he said when we come back, we'll go out with him, according to our budget, and then he'll show us what's within our budget.
If he can find me a place within a reasonable monthly rent, I call San Juan.
Viva Puerto Rico!
But still, did you have any few things that kind of like not quite
cons
well for you about San Juan?
Yeah.
Can you name them?
I don't know. I don't know if I have cons for San Juan that I can see yet. No, because they have public transportation.
There are a lot of places
they have malls, they have Uber. I mean, I don't think right now we have any cons except for the cost of living.
Yeah, there are little things that are minor you find in any place. There certain streets are not proper.
Yeah, they don't feel like you feel like totally safe, but you just.
I
mean, you're not gonna find, in anywhere in the world, you're gonna find every little corner safe.
Yeah.
Right. So, San Juan is not immune.
But right now, San Juan is really.
It's high on the list.
Spending
cost of living.
Yeah. Last place we visited on that trip was Medellin. Colombia. I think Medellin was the surprise of the trip to me. I mean, what I expected from Medellin, and waiting and watching a lot of videos about other people talking about
like
Colombia.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah,
town.
we've been to Colombia before, but we never.
We went to Cartagena.
Yeah. And I went to Bogota for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but we are a little bit apprehensive of Medellin. But when we get there, we realize it's so beautiful with that climate. They have
the city of eternal spring.
It's so nice, beautiful, so green.
And we stayed in an area.
I never seen a green city like that.
No. We stayed in our hotel was in El Poblado. It was really nice.
Really nice. So we were able to do a lot of things. We visited places that are very nice. Other places that, no, I will not say dangerous, but people will say sketchy or questionable. But overall, we felt safe.
Yeah.
We felt safe, but that doesn't mean should we call Medellin really a totally safe place.
Yeah.
I will not venture and say that, but I would say that should not be a factor for me to, even though person of safety is on our list, but I would say the safety level is comfortable to me.
It's like where we live right now. There are some streets, some areas that we will not go at night or walk. You know, we'll go through there in our car.
But
with our car locked.
We did walk a lot late at night, probably around 10 p.m. and you know, going.
We felt safe. We just would not go in certain areas, but at night. But overall, we felt safe, and we love the food, the people, and there's a lot to do.
Yes, and also Medellin nowadays is very popular among expats. A lot of people are moving there.
Retiring there too.
I would probably say so far, Medellin, during this trip, might be the place that you know, we could say that, you know, the best cost of living.
Yeah, you can easily say that. Yeah. Like we took a trip to Guatapé.
It was a 2 hours drive.
Yeah.
It was a very nice
trip.
And along the way, we discovered also other little towns that you could go for a weekend. You know, that are like, you know,
we would not be bored.
We would not be bored. And also other big cities like Barranquilla, Cali, Bogota are close by, within like, you know, an hour or two flights.
Yeah.
And if you're on a drive, I think Bogota is about 8 hours driving from Medellin.
That especially because of the cost of, you know, pretty good cost of living right now. So if we want to talk about cons,
yes, even though a lot of people speaks English in Medellin, but I would probably say you found less comparing to, let's say, to someone or other places.
Yeah.
But you need some types of Spanish,
which is a good thing.
But like I said, you know,
get your Spanish course going.
Yes, I think probably that would be for certain people, for some people, that could be like, you know, a factor that probably.
But you know what? I think a lot of people from Europe and Canada and US have retired in Medellin. So I think it's not that bad. You know, I think they're learning the language. I think people at the stores, they make an effort to learn a couple of words in English as well. So I don't think that's a big factor in terms of cons.
The other thing might probably, because I'm picky in a sense, Medellin has more like high-rise building types and residential neighborhoods, like, you know, with
a lot of high-rises,
houses that we're familiar in Florida, like, you know, single family houses, things like that. But they do have in certain areas like
Los Laureles.
So we will need to kind of like, you know, explore Medellin more.
Go out with a realtor and see
because
what
Poblado where we stay is kind of
high rises
and
hilly.
Yeah. So
but yeah, it's a place we could possibly retire in. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, one of the factors that really attract is cost of living. Cost of living. You could really keep your lifestyle for less. The same lifestyle we're here in the US for less in Medellin.
Yeah.
So Vivian, we have arrived at decision time. So where do we stand?
So guys, we wanted to give you an update because you know we've been looking around for a possible place to retire, and
it could be also long-term stay. What does that mean? We could decide to go to a place and stay there for
even if we
at least a month, 2 3 months, or 6 months to kind of like, you know, knowing. So where we stand right now, so we still
have 2 places.
We still have
two countries to visit.
At least 2.
Yeah, we need to visit Mexico and Ecuador.
Yeah, Mexico. We need to say that we have been to certain places in Mexico,
but this time it's going to be new cities.
And we want to explore them. I would say Mexico, and also in terms of cost of living, Ecuador is very appealing. Even though lately, Ecuador have experienced certain
shaky.
Difficulty in terms of security, personal safety, and as well some infrastructure issues like water, electricity, things like that. But that I don't consider those permanent problems.
Yeah. So until we visit those two places, Mario, Mexico and Ecuador, and then we have to go back
to some places that we've been before,
like Martinique. That we said that we want to go out with a realtor and visit some more residential places in Martinique, Saint Martin and San Juan,
and as well as Medellin.
Yeah. So it's still work in progress, but we wanted to give you guys an update. So hopefully by the end of the year, God willing, because we can have all the plans in the world, but we have to write them in pencil, because God is has the final answer. He's the one who writes them in pen, in ink. So it's all in His hand, but we'll do our part with His direction.
So we're going to spend, as usual, the rest of our travels for this year. Keep on exploring more places, new places, existing places, and hopefully, God willing, we'll be able by next year. Decide to call a place in your home.
Guys, did you have any favorites? Do you have any places that you think we should have gone that we didn't?
Or maybe one of the places that we've been, you think might be the best fit for us?
And what's your favorite in all the places we visited?
And remember, all those places that we visited, we have a video. We're going to put the playlist on
the description
below. And you can go and see for yourself, the experiences we had. That's the nature of our channel. We document our adventures and experiences, and we show you everything that we see.
Yeah, if you like our content, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us a lot. And then please subscribe if you haven't done so. And we thank you, all of you, for your continued support. God bless.
Until the next one.
Bye for now. Peace.